Welcome back, everybody. So today we're going to check in on beer number 20 in my 2-hop series. In this series featuring Cascade and Centennial, I did make 20 beers. So if you're into seeing, I guess, different malts used with different hops, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring that bell. So this is the final one in this series. I think we're going to start dropping off. I tried to do all 20 of them pretty much together, but I'll let them sit just a little bit longer. But most of them, I did start out with 7, but I did a couple reviews. I made some more. Then I did a couple reviews with them and some of the new ones. So it's not all going to be even. So some of these will drop off and we'll just have certain ones left. So beer number 20, Cascade Centennial using S04 yeast. 2 pounds, 4 ounces of 2-row. This is a small gallon batch, 1.25 gallons going into the carboy. For the boil, 1 hour boil, 0.25 ounces of Cascade at 60 minutes, 0.25 ounces of Centennial at 10, 0.25 ounces of Cascade at 5. 3 days into fermentation, we are going to add 0.25 ounces of each for 7 days, then go ahead and bottle. Bottled on 10/21, 7.71% ABV. Now, I will do a side-by-side of this and beer number 19, but I wouldn't call it a fermentation chamber. The room I keep them in, they are sitting right next to each other. This one had more. It could have been maybe the mash in was a little higher, a little lower in one versus the other. Maybe the one didn't have as much water, so that drove the ABV up just a little bit. Who knows? The yeast did come out of the same pack, so it wasn't like one was bad and one was good. They're both over 7.5. So let's go ahead and get this open. Good hiss. Good smoke. We'll see if this one starts bubbling like 19 did, and it did. I'm going to go ahead and get it in here. See if we can keep the head down a little. I will leave the end of this in there just because I want to check out the color. Most of the time I would just pour the whole thing in there, and we got a huge head. I'm pretty sure on these, by this point, I did switch to the small pearl carbonation tablets. So if you're making small batches, I think it's just better off using the carbonation tablets. You're not going to have that much beer. It's not going to sit that long. Now, if you're making a stout or a porter, you might want to mix the correct ratio and just do it out of a bucket. But at least for me, it's easier to use the drops. I haven't, had bottle bombs, knock on wood. But these older ones, this is 6 months old, the carbonation level is a little bit high in them. We do have an off-white. This head is wider than beer number 19, but hopefully that'll still keep a head on it and we'll be able to tell. But this is still off-white, but it's more white than beer number 19. All small bubbles except for the outside, which we have large ones. 2 fingers of head. Color bright yellow. Hot particles, stuff floating in there. I'm going to take that from it being overcarbed, and just when I opened it, all that carbonation coming up to the top. Lots and lots of bubbles, but I can see the signs in there. Let's go ahead and smell. Almost like a sweet floral, what I would expect. A little older beer, that malt's going to come out. I'm not sure where all the sweetness is coming from. If it's like beer 19, it is going to be a little drier. I would expect more of the sugar to be eaten to drive up that ABV. So that would leave us with I almost want to say a brute smell. But yeah, that less sugary, but it does smell sweet. Yeah, definitely more floral on this one. Sweet floral with a touch of citrus, and that is about it. I'm really not getting any toasted malt out of this one. I guess you could say a little. but that floral is big enough where it pretty much covers all that up. Let's go ahead and taste. Big time floral, big time bitterness, and I'm not sure why. I do get some of that toasted malt in there, maybe a little bit more than I would like. Big floral, a touch of citrus, lots of bitterness on the back end and in the aftertaste. The carbonation level, even though we're seeing all these bubbles, 2 fingers of head, it's really not that bad. I think it's good. Somebody that's big into floral, I could see liking this. I'm trying to... I think there is some lemon citrus in there, but it's more in the aftertaste. Like I talked about in Beer 19, S04 does give me a little bit more lemon citrus instead of just citrus. And I am getting some more of that lemon citrus in the aftertaste with that floral. But in the main taste, it's just a touch of citrus and pretty much gone. This body feels heavier, which is very weird. For 2 pounds, 4 ounces of grain, 7.7% beer, it should be on the lighter side because it did eat through more of the sugars. We probably mashed in a little lighter, maybe, on this one. I would drink this. I wouldn't brew it again just because I'm not that big of a floral fan. The back end, the bitterness does seem to be going down a little bit. So I don't know if it was just something from that initial drink. It's still there. It's perceived a little bit more than 19. But yeah, I think this is turning out okay. Again, okay for somebody that doesn't really like floral. But definitely for a floral fan that likes Cascade hops, I would age a couple for 6 months and see how you like it, because I'm pretty sure these had a bigger citrus juiciness quality when they were younger, and that is falling off, and those hops are, I guess, the real characteristics of the hops are taking over what you think they should be. Cascade being floral, then Centennial being more grapefruit citrus quality to it. But yeah, not a bad beer. So if you enjoyed this video, check some more reviews out over here. And until next time, happy brewing.